So we have an hour and a half. It isn't recording. So we have an hour and a half. Oh fuck. One sec. I don't know why it's not recording. It was recording like an hour ago. Do I have computer space? Yeah. Alright, fuck it. I think I'm gonna stream it, and I have my Twitch set up to save it, so I can just do that. But alright, yeah, let's get started. So what did you want to do?
I'm happy to go over replays, but I think my last losses were before the break, the holiday, the winter festivities began. So I don't know if we can actually get those replays.
It doesn't look like it, but it's.
Yeah.
I usually prefer losses, but it's not like make or break.
Oh, that's
just,
what I'm saying. Yeah, is that?
Well, it's.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's not like it's just usually with a loss or a win, you play about as good. It's just when you lose the game, it's like you fuck up and then the enemy punishes you. But with a win, you fuck up and they don't do anything about it. So it's more of like I can point out here, look, this happened because of this. But it's still I can point out a lot of things. So which game did you want to go over? We only have these three to look at.
Yeah, let's do the Earth Spirit game because the other two are. I think that's probably the best game.
I think the Soul Ring might be overkill. It might be fine because of these two.
Yeah.
If anything, I'd like to have seen you go Mana Boots and use your urn as your health. But you would want to get a wand too. Because that makes you regen like 150% more than base. Just because of how the regen works. One sec. Yeah, I need to make a video on wand. But if we get you level like 10 and then we throw a wand on you, it gives you, yeah, more than double your health regen. So this with urn, and you're like already kind of close to tranquils. Like you're consistently getting like a fourth of tranquils.
Right. I think that's what I did in the Tusk game.
Well, the first thing is you don't have tangos.
Yeah, I know I fucked up here.
Usually you want you would want a clarity also. Probably. Like you could do a clarity and a fairy fire and you're really good off. Because that fairy fire will like pretty often be the difference between you getting a kill and dying. And the 2 damage is pretty good on you because you're going to be on top of people all the time.
Right.
I didn't like I didn't mind the move of trying to go mid. The only reason that I think it was good was because the creeps ended up here. If they ended up like all the melee creeps were like right here.
Right.
If it was like here or any farther, I don't think I would have liked it. And then this was just like a small chance of happening, and it did happen. So I think the idea was really good, based off of the creep wave. This is good. Going for the bounty rune because you know you're not going to do anything mid. You get hooked. Shit happens. You should have bought out though. You lost like 70 gold there. Which means right now you could TP out with a Fairy Fire and a Raindrop. But you don't buy either, which is really bad. Well, it's not like really bad, it's just... like a Raindrop can save your life.
Yeah, versus the Lion in the next.
Yeah. This is good. But yeah, imagine if you left the base with that Raindrop and you had a Clarity. Wouldn't you be feeling a lot better right now? Like right now you have one spell, and that's all you have. And I would have, I usually skip the Ring of Protection, cause like you run into this thing where you're full slots, and like you can't TP save anyone now. So what I usually do is I get the recipe before the Ring of Protection. And what that allows you to do is, if you're ever at the side shop, you can get your urn because you can finish the Ring of Protection from this guy. And that can oftentimes mean when there's a 2v2, you buy your urn, you get a kill, you heal your Windrunner when she's running through here, or you use the urn to finish off the guy. And that can mean another kill just because you did it like that. Or you just heal up the Windrunner and she doesn't have to base because she got low or some shit. And now you have to use the Shrine instead of the Clarity. Here I would have liked to seen you roll first onto the Spectre, because he's going to go on a straight line to her, so it's pretty obvious. If you roll like right here, it's going to hit him. And then from there, when you're right on top of him, you can throw this stun that will also hit the Lion. And then this guy doesn't get your Windrunner because he has the 80% slow for the 1/8 of a second. Or the 8/10ths of a second. And like right now, if you got the recipe instead of the ring, you'd be getting your urn in like 30 gold.
Fuck this up, I think. Should have rolled onto the bounty.
Oh, did you not get the bounty rune?
No, you got it.
And here, if you went for the wand, you could go for mana boots instead, which will give you more burst mana when you need it. Like, let's say you got mana drained by the Lion and the Nyx, and then Dro doesn't really get any mana regen except for Aquila. So if she ever gets low, she doesn't really like recuperate from it. And a Windrunner usually doesn't do too well on mana regen until like later on in the game. And then also you can make grease from it if you need to, or you can make fucking what's the other one? Lotus Orb later on in the game.
Right.
So this is another thing. When you play this guy, when you roll on somebody, you want to use your stun. Your stun's like almost guaranteed to hit whoever you roll on. So what you want to do here is drop your stone and then kick this way. So it stuns all of them. Which might mean that you get like the Spectre kill here also. Cause, like, you would have gotten a lot more slows on them if you just got that first. And then here's the example of the Drow doesn't have any. Like, if you had, of course you want to have mana boots right now because you don't have the gold, but this is like a situation where she just doesn't recuperate from having low mana. And it's kind of like the thing with Tranquils is it's really good early game. So, like, I don't mind you getting Urn first, but it's just kind of like, if you get Urn first, you should be a lot less likely to, or not a lot less likely, but you should be a bit less likely to get Tranquils. Because the Tranquil strength is, it solves your health problems, and it helps you run from one lane to another. But at 10 minutes, you're a lot less likely to be running around as you are at like 3 minutes or whatever. And then with Urn and Wand, you basically have your health problem fixed.
So would you, like, if you were to build Tranquils, would you build them first before the Urn?
These are all factors to consider. It's not cut and dry.
Right.
So, like, if they had a Venomancer or something like that, then that's another factor. Is like, alright, I really want Tranquils. Or if they don't really have anything that's dispellable. But let's say they had a Silencer, then you'd be a lot more likely to get the Arcane Boots, because then you can go Greaves.
Right.
So it's kind of like just juggling all of these different things. And the later you get the Tranquils, the sooner... like, the most that you get out of Tranquils is the first, like, 10 to 15 minutes. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Because it makes you, like, so much faster than everyone else, and if you get into a fight with Tranquils early game... by the time you get into another fight, you'll have been almost full. But if you take a fight at like 40 minutes with your Tranquils, it's like, alright, I'm going to get like 20% of my health back before the next fight. But with Mana Boots, you can disassemble them. They help the rest of your team. They build into other things. Like, there's so much more flexibility with them. And they don't really fall off at... Like, they do fall off, but they're not, like, just strictly useless. Later in the game. What the fuck is your Windrunner doing? Do you see this shit? She's like a... Oh, she's... Okay. She's a frog. Hey.
Oh yeah, that's pretty weird.
Alright, this is good. You get the double stun. You can hold the silence a little bit longer though.
Yeah.
It takes some practice, and like, I don't do it perfectly either, but you have a lot of range before you can pull back. And the radius of this, I think that's the range where you can, like... So there's a radius where you cast where it looks for a stone. And I think the radius that this shows is the farthest that you can click. So if the radius stops here, I think you can get a stone like there. Just because it doesn't like look at that exact pixel, it looks at the area.
Right. forgot about it.
You could have.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you get that kill if you go for it. Because you have your urn up in a few seconds. So you roll on him here, you punch him once, and then there's no way he gets away from you. Where you can't just urn him and he dies.
Yeah. I was afraid of missing the roll and getting stunned under the tower.
I mean,
if I didn't hesitate there.
Yeah. I would have really liked to see you get Glimmer here.
I think I do get it this game.
Okay. And here you have your orb in your backpack.
Yeah.
And your camera positioning's completely off. Like, this is what your camera's looking at, and you should be something more like this-ish.
Right.
Or something like that. So you don't even see this Nyx stunning. Lol.
Told that guy to run, he didn't listen.
I don't think you needed your stone there. Which might sound like a small point, but it's actually... like, I think you could have earned them and, like, kicked them. And if you use your urn with 1 charge left, it resets it to 0. And then if you have 0 charges, you get 2 of them. So it's...
Right.
I always use that when somebody's low and I know that I'm not going to need it in the next, like, 5 seconds. Because, like, there's a 2% chance somehow that lion, like, lives because he gets hooked or something. And here's another thing with your build. You need dust. And then when you have your dust, you're basically 6-slotted. Like, you can sell your Orb of Venom, but you're, like, cutting your slots way too short by having this build. Yeah, I like this. I think that's, that final stone was a waste. When you could have just, like, earned them. Oh, I think you tried to, but you missed. But yeah, like, now you don't have any stones.
Probably should have initiated there. I got scared.
Yeah, I see your tunnel vision. Like, you don't know that your whole team's coming.
Yeah.
So you could have either initiated, or you could have got closer to this hill and just rolled up it without this stone.
Right.
And with this guy's hook on cooldown, you're just as good right here as you are over here. And that's another stone that you didn't need to use. So now you're like 3 stones down.
The silence one, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pudge had like 5% health left. I guess if you're trying to stop the suicide, but you could have also pulled your stun stone back.
True.
Right here, you know you're basically like done with the fight, and they're really focused on the Dro. So what I would be doing here is running up in here,
Running north, yeah.
and then rolling over the hill, and then soul ringing, rolling over the hill, and TPing back to base.
How did they see me there?
I think Dagger was following you.
Oh.
Yeah. You left a little smoky trail.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah.
I would have went on him there.
On the Spectre?
Yeah, when he turns back here, does he turn back? Yeah, right here I'd be like, what the fuck is this guy doing? He's dead. Cause you stun him and then you silence him, and then this guy gets another combo off, and then he rearms and then blinks up here, and lasers him to finish him. Would you agree that that would kill him?
Yeah. He does have the Vanguard, though.
The Vanguard doesn't stop any of that.
Yeah, I don't really play Tinker, so it's a little... I mean, I know what the hero does, obviously, but...
Yeah. I mean, the main... I don't play him either. It's just I saw how much his rocket laser burst did when the Spectre was chasing up the hill. And then you can imagine 2 more of those just kills him.
Right.
Or it's very close, and if it doesn't, then the 400 from this plus your urn will definitely kill him.
Yeah.
And your Tinker was fresh from base, so he had full mana. I wouldn't be going blink or cloak or whatever pipe here.
Right.
You already have the Glimmer Cape, which is like good enough. Like all of their magic damage is single target except for Spectre's Radiance.
Well, Viper and Pudge too.
Well, Pudge is single target. I don't consider his Rot really AoE in the later game. Like, if he's rotting 2 targets, that's like the exception as opposed to the rule. Usually he'll hook somebody, earn them, or Spirit Vessel them, and dismember them while rotting on them. And then this guy, he's going to, like, his Nether Toxin is AoE, but his Poison Attack and his Viper Strike are single target. And this guy's Mana Burn, and like his stun is kind of like Pudge's, where it might hit like 2 targets, but that's about it. It's usually focused on 1 target, and then if it hits other people, it's a bonus. And then this guy's Finger and his Spike are kind of the same. So this guy, he's not even going Radiance. So I think Pipe right here is pretty bad. I would have much rather seen you go like a Blink Dagger, maybe, or a maybe a Force Staff. Like I really would have liked to have seen Greaves, but you went for the Tranquils. Like the Greaves are just nice. There isn't really anything you really want to dispel. It's just like there's no other pressing items that you need. Maybe a Spirit Vessel. Throw it on the Pudge when he's ulting somebody and you can't finish it, or a Yule's to make sure that you don't have to hold any spells to stop this guy's Dismember. And that would also solve your mana problems if you went the Tranquils build. I would say definitely Blink Dagger if they didn't have a Spectre. But he's just gonna ult and you're not gonna have a Blink Dagger.
So then probably like Force?
Force or Yule's would be good. And the main thing with Force is this guy's sheep. Like if your Duro gets sheeped and you don't have a Force Staff, she's probably just dead. But if you can force her from like here to like here, she's a lot safer even if she is sheeped.
True.
It's all fine. The only thing I want to say is you're kind of holding your Glimmer Cape a little bit. Like it was fine there because the Nyx was stunned and the Spectre was, or the Nyx was silenced and the Spectre doesn't have a stun. But I don't think it was very risky if you just used it in case.
Right.
And this is like, if you had a Blink Dagger here, this is why I like Blink Dagger in this guy. If you have a Blink Dagger here, you can try and blink like here, and then stun all 3 of them.
Right, yeah.
I also wouldn't have minded just you upgrading the spirit vessel, just for the extra damage, and it's really good against Fudge. Like, you don't really, aside from Glimmer Cape, you don't have any items that, like, you must go. I think this replay is pretty much almost spent.
Yeah.
If you want to call it here, you have an hour and a half left. And we're at the 30 minutes, so if we cut it here, we'll have an hour for the next one. And it's kind of weird only having 45 minutes for a lesson. Because this is like the exception where you don't have many replays. So yeah,
we can call it here.
Alright.
Cool. Well, thanks, man.
Yeah. Trying to think of something to wrap it up with. Yeah, so try and get a few more games in. I'll try to figure out how I can get this from I don't know how to put it from Twitch to YouTube. But I'll try and figure that.
Send me the Twitch link.
Here. So we have an hour and a half. It isn't to record. Does that work?
Let's see. Yeah.